Hello and welcome to the GMAP training video series. My name is Erin Suddeth and I'm the branch manager for the Title I Part A Support and Improvement Branch at the Kentucky Department of Education. This video includes an introduction and overview of the GMAP system, as well as a few tips about the program. Section 1112A of the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA, states that a local educational agency, or LEA, may receive a subgrant under Title I Part A for any fiscal year only if the agency has an approved application or plan on file with the state educational agency, or SEA. The requirement for the SEA to review and approve an LEA's application is also found in the Code of Federal Regulations, or Uniform Grant Guidance, under 34 CFR 76. This application is a plan for how the district will spend their Title I funds, as well as meet some of the other requirements under ESSA. Districts are not able to receive any of the funds until they have an approved application. Since we utilize a consolidated application, the application is not approved until each individual section or program is approved. Our goal is for your application to be approved as soon as possible so that you can receive your funds and begin spending them in a timely fashion. The Grant Management Application and Planning, or GMAP system, helps districts to maximize the use of their grant dollars from federal non-competitive grant programs. Resources and information related to GMAP can be found on KDE's GMAP webpage. A link to the GMAP page can be found on the Title I Part A Documents and Resources webpage. New coordinators will need to be added to GMAP as users. This can be handled by the district staff assigned the User Access Administrator role in the system. Once you've been added to the system, you're ready to view and work in GMAP. GMAP can be accessed through any browser using the address gmap.education.ky.gov. We'll be starting on the home page. The home page contains important announcements for coordinators. The sign-in button is located at the bottom of the navigation menu on the left side of the screen. I'll be logging in on a test site as a test district so that my screen looks similar to yours for the demonstration. The test site allows your KDE consultant to log in as any coordinator without the coordinator's password. This is useful for troubleshooting issues with the district. We can work in your application without changing the work that you've already done and saved. Now that we've signed in, let's do a quick overview of GMAP. The left-hand navigation menu allows you to navigate through the system. Before we go through completing the application, we're going to review some of the features in GMAP. The District Document Library is where you can upload some of the documents that you're required to submit to KDE, such as the Comparability Report and the Equitable Services Consultation Packet. Select the fiscal year you need. Click Search Folders, and then expand to view the appropriate folders. Click on Edit Documents to upload documents or download templates from KDE. Now we'll return to the home page. You'll also notice the session timeout underneath the navigation menu. After 60 minutes of being on the same page, GMAP will automatically log you out of the system. The clock resets whenever you navigate to a new page. We'll discuss how to avoid being logged out in the middle of your work in a moment. To get to your application after you sign in, click on your organization name near the top of the page. You're now on the Funding Applications page. As you can see, there are drop-down menus allowing you to select the fiscal year as well as which application you'd like to see. GMAP will default to the most recent fiscal year. Below the drop-down menus are links to each application, the application status, and the date the application was last updated. Title I Part A is part of the consolidated application, so we'll click on the consolidated application link. This takes me to the sections page. At the top of each page, you will always see your district name, the fiscal year, the application, and what revision of the application you're working on. Since this is the original application, it says Rev 0. The revision number will change when you make changes to an approved application or when GMAP is updated to reflect reallocations from the U.S. Department of Education. The sections page contains links to each page of the consolidated application and is an easy way to navigate to any part of the application. Before we get into the application, we're going to look at a few features that are included on every page in GMAP that will help you during the completion process. To demonstrate this, I'm going to go to any page of the Title I Part A application. So I'll click on District Set Aside. And this is the District Set Aside page. Let's say that there's a portion of this page I don't understand. The first place I'd look is on Help for Current Pages. Help for Current Pages is in the main navigation menu and is available for every page within GMAP. Whenever you have a question about something in GMAP, this should be the first place you check. So you've clicked on Help for Current Pages, and you'll see different categories that you can expand. If you still have questions after reviewing the information on the Help page, contact your KDE Title I consultant. You may want to open GMAP in two different browsers, using one for the application and the other for Help for Current Pages. This will allow you to complete the application while using the help pages at the same time and can be especially beneficial for new coordinators. Once you've read all the information on the help page, click Return to Previous Page to return to the application. Be aware that you cannot use the back button in your browser while in GMAP. In order to save your work and move to another page, you'll go to the Save and Go To menu. Let's say that I've entered all the information required on this page and I'm ready to move on. I'll hover over Save and Go To, and that menu will expand. Now I can navigate to any page in GMAP. Selecting Current Page will save my work but allow me to stay on the same page. If you've been working on the same page for an extended period of time, use this option to reset the timeout clock so that your work is not lost. Some of the other options in this menu are Next Page, Previous Page, and the Sections page. You can also expand the Title I Part A menu to display each page within the Title I Part A application. The consolidated checklist is the last item on the menu, and we'll talk about that more in a moment. This Save and Go To menu is how you will move between pages within GMAP. Another page you could open for reference while completing your application is the consolidated checklist. This is the checklist your KDE consultants will use when reviewing your application for approval. So I've used the Save and Go To menu to move to the consolidated checklist. The checklist is also a method of communication between KDE and the districts. If you scroll down, you'll see all the federal programs that apply to your district. You can use this as a self-evaluation of your application. If your application is ever returned as not approved by KDE, you'll go to this page to see what needs to be fixed. Currently, you see Not Reviewed next to each item. When a consultant reviews the application, we review each page and then mark the page as either OK or Attention Needed. If Attention Needed is selected, we can place Check marks next to the individual item requiring attention, as well as add a narrative explaining exactly what needs to be done. If you have any questions about the comments in the checklist, please contact your district's Title I consultant for additional support. Let's go back to the section page using our Save and Go To menu. At the top of the page, you'll see the application status. In order to start your application, the status must be draft started. A brand new application will have a status of not started. The status can be changed to draft started through the draft started link at the top of the page. The status can only be changed by someone designated as the GMAP District Consolidated Director. Click on the address book in the navigation menu to see who has this role in your district. Roles may be updated by the User Access Administrator. We'll click on that and we get a confirmation message that we want to change the status of the application. We'll click Confirm. Once the status has been changed to draft started, you're ready to begin completing the application. Each video in this series focuses on a different page of the Title I Part A application in GMAP. Thank you for watching the GMAP training video series.